All right, let's dive into the legend of Nezha.
The figure who's been captivating Chinese culture for centuries.
Exactly, and we've got these excerpts here focusing on how Nezha's evolved.
Especially in recent films like Nezha, the Devil's Child.
And New Gods, Nezha Reborn.
It's really fascinating.
Yeah, like why does this ancient myth still resonate today?
Especially with younger generations.
And how those modern interpretations have sort of given Nezha a makeover.
Yeah, it's remarkable, isn't it?
It really is.
You have this figure who's been around for centuries.
Right.
And he continues to find new life.
And relevance in contemporary culture.
Mm-hmm.
So before we jump into all the modern stuff,
okay,
let's just refresh our memories a little bit.
Yeah.
Who is Nezha in the original myths?
Well, at the heart of it,
Yeah.
you have this young hero
Okay.
who challenges the authority of a powerful dragon king.
Okay.
There's a strong theme of rebellion, but also of rebirth that runs through his story.
Rebirth, that's interesting. And it seems like every telling of the myth adds a new layer to the story. We've got sources like Sanjiao Shen de Quan, which is this huge compilation of tales about deities and spirits.
Right.
And then there's Fengshen Yanyi,
Yes.
which dives into these epic battles.
And family drama.
Family drama, yeah.
And even Journey to the West.
Oh, wow.
With the legendary Monkey King features Nezha.
It's amazing how many places he pops up.
Each of these sources provides a unique perspective on his powers.
Yeah.
Personality.
His personality, okay.
Sanjiao's Session de Quan, for instance, gives us a glimpse into the world of Chinese mythology, where Nezha operates, while Feng Xinyanyi places him within this grander narrative of these warring factions and divine intervention.
So we're already seeing how adaptable this myth is.
Absolutely.
And of course, we can't forget that unforgettable visual, Nezha with 3 heads and 8 arms.
Yeah.
I mean, I wonder if filmmakers are drawn to this character.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's just incredible.
Yeah, that striking imagery certainly lends itself to visual mediums like film.
Right.
But there's more to his enduring appeal than just spectacle.
I think so, too.
He embodies adventure, bravery, this unwavering pursuit of justice. And these are themes that transcend time and resonate really deeply within Chinese culture.
It's really fascinating to me how those themes, especially rebellion and justice, might play out differently in modern China than centuries ago.
Yeah.
Is there something about Nezha's rebellion that speaks to young people today?
That's a great question.
Thank you.
In traditional interpretations, Nezha's rebellion is often seen as this challenge against either corrupt or unjust authority.
Right.
But in modern China, where you have all this rapid societal change, a lot of pressure on young people to conform, Nezha's rebellion might take on a whole new meaning.
Okay, what do you think that new meaning is?
It could be about challenging societal expectations, finding your own voice, or even just navigating the complexities of modern life.
So it's not just about rebelling against a literal dragon king anymore. It's about those invisible pressures and expectations that young people face. I'm starting to see how these ancient myths can be reinterpreted for modern audiences. Speaking of which, let's jump into those recent films. Nezha, The Devil's Child. And New Gods, Nezha Reborn.
All right.
They seem to be doing something really interesting with this myth.
They are. They're taking those core elements. The rebellion, the struggle against fate, the quest for self-discovery, and weaving them into these narratives that grapple with contemporary issues.
So in Devil's Child, we see Nezha wrestling with this predetermined fate. He's been labeled a demon, and everyone expects him to fulfill that prophecy.
Yeah, and he fights against those expectations.
He does. He tries to forge his own path, and there's some really powerful themes of friendship and self-acceptance there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Devil's Child really taps into that universal struggle of finding your place in the world, especially when others have already decided who you're supposed to be.
Oh, that's powerful.
Yeah.
And then there's Nezha Reborn, which throws us into this futuristic, cyberpunk-esque city.
Yeah.
Nezha's reincarnated.
He is.
And he's battling against corporate greed and social injustice.
It's a very different setting.
It is.
But you can still see those core themes.
Of rebellion. and fighting for what's right. It's really interesting how they've adapted it.
Nezha Reborn takes this bold approach.
Okay.
Placing him in this gritty urban landscape.
Gritty, yeah.
And pitting him against forces that represent very modern anxieties.
What anxieties do you see there?
Oh, corporate power.
Okay.
Environmental degradation.
Right.
Social inequality.
Yeah.
Things that we all think about today.
Absolutely. Both films are visually striking.
Yeah, they are.
But I'm particularly intrigued by the Eastern punk aesthetic in Nezha Reborn.
Right.
Visually stunning, sure.
Absolutely.
But does it do more than just look cool?
I think it absolutely does.
Tell me more.
The Eastern punk aesthetic isn't just about those cool visuals. It's about blending.
Blending what?
Traditional Chinese elements with modern, even futuristic designs. This fusion creates a unique visual language that reflects the film's thematic concerns.
So it's not just about slapping some neon lights on ancient armor.
No.
Okay.
It's about visually representing this clash between tradition and modernity, between the past and the present.
I'm starting to see how this aesthetic choice is a key part
of how Nezha Reborn updates the myth for a contemporary audience.
Precisely. It's a visual metaphor. For the film's exploration of how ancient myths and values can be reinterpreted and applied to the challenges of the modern world.
So let's dig into that a little deeper. We've got this fictional Donghai city.
Yeah, Donghai city.
In Nezha Reborn. Tell me more about how they blend those visual elements.
Well, one of the most striking things about Donghai city is the architecture. You have these towering skyscrapers that kind of evoke the Art Deco style of 1920s Manhattan.
Interesting.
But they're adorned with traditional Chinese motifs and details.
Really?
Yeah. And then you have the bustling street scenes with neon signs and holographic projections, all set against a backdrop of ancient temples and pagodas.
So it's this really interesting juxtaposition of East and West, old and new.
It's a fascinating blend. It is.
That creates a world that feels both familiar and utterly unique.
And it's not just the city.
Right.
It's the characters, too.
Exactly. Take Lee Young-sang.
Lee Young-sang.
Nezha's reincarnation in the film.
Right.
He's got these eyes inspired by ancient Buddhist statues, but rocks a modern leather jacket.
Oh, wow.
And rides a souped-up motorcycle.
It's like a visual representation of this collision between tradition and modernity that he embodies. And then you have these fantastical creatures, like the jellyfish monster.
Yeah, the jellyfish monster.
Which is this classic figure from Chinese mythology. But given this biopunk twist...
Right, they're taking familiar elements and reimagining them through this very modern lens.
I'm starting to see how this Eastern punk aesthetic goes beyond just a cool visual style.
Yeah.
It's really a way of bridging the gap between the ancient and the modern, between the familiar and the unexpected.
It's a key part of what makes these modern Nezha interpretations so appealing to younger audiences.
So we've got these visually stunning films, clearly resonating with younger generations.
Yes.
But why?
That's the question.
What is it about these modern interpretations that speak to them in a way that perhaps the traditional myths don't?
Well, I think one of the key reasons is relatability. Nezha's journey, especially as depicted in these films, resonates with the challenges and anxieties that many young people face today.
So tell me more about that.
All right.
What about Nezha's journey makes him relatable to modern audiences?
Well, for starters, Nezha is often portrayed as a bit of a rebel.
A rebel.
Someone who chafes against authority, struggles to find his place in the world. This is something that many young people, especially in a rapidly changing society like modern China, can relate to.
There's a lot of pressure on young people to conform, to follow a certain path.
Exactly.
And Nezha's story of rebellion and self-discovery could be seen as like an antidote to that pressure.
Precisely.
Okay, I like that.
And then there's the fact that Nezha, despite his extraordinary powers, is also deeply flawed. He's impulsive. Makes mistakes. He struggles with his emotions.
Right.
This makes him a much more relatable and human character.
Right. Especially for young people who are still figuring things out themselves.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he's not this perfect, untouchable hero.
Right.
He's someone who makes mistakes, learns from them, keeps striving to be better.
And I think that's a really powerful message.
I think so, too.
For young people who might be feeling overwhelmed
by all the pressures and expectations of the world around them. And I think the films also tap into this sense of longing for something more, for a sense of purpose and meaning.
Yes.
In a world that can often feel very chaotic and overwhelming.
Exactly.
Nezha's journey, his fight for justice,
Yeah.
his willingness to stand up for what he believes in speaks to that desire for something greater than oneself.
It's almost like he embodies this youthful idealism.
Yeah.
This belief that you can make a difference in the world, even if you're not perfect, even if you don't have all the answers.
I think you're right. You know, we've talked a lot about the themes of rebellion and self-discovery, but I think it's also important to mention the importance of family and community in these modern Nezha interpretations.
Absolutely.
Both Nezha, the Devil's Child, and New Gods, Nezha Reborn.
Right.
Explore these themes in very different ways.
They do.
But they both underscore the importance of connection, belonging, and the bonds that tie us to others in Devil's Child.
Okay.
It's about overcoming prejudice and earning the acceptance of the villagers.
Yeah.
Whereas in Nezha Reborn, it's about protecting Donghai City and the people he cares about from those forces of corruption.
Exactly.
So in both cases, his journey isn't just about personal growth.
Right.
It's about recognizing his responsibility to something larger than himself. It's about using his powers to protect those he cares about and to make the world a better place.
It's almost like these modern interpretations are shifting the focus from the individual hero to the hero as part of a community.
That's a great observation.
And I think it reflects a broader cultural shift.
Oh, interesting.
Especially among younger generations.
Okay.
Towards a more collectivist understanding of heroism.
Okay.
It's not just about individual achievement. It's about recognizing our interconnectedness and our responsibility to each other.
So while the traditional myth might emphasize Nezha's rebellion against authority, these modern interpretations seem to be highlighting a different kind of heroism, one that's rooted in community and social responsibility.
Exactly. And I think that shift is a key part of what makes these modern Nezha interpretations so relevant and resonant.
For today's audiences, it's like Nezha's evolution as a character mirrors our own evolving understanding of what it means to be a hero in the 21st century. It's not just about superpowers and epic battles. It's about empathy, compassion, making a positive impact on the world around you.
Y'all said.
I think that's a really powerful message that resonates with people of all ages.
It does.
But especially with young people.
Who are grappling with the complexities of the modern world.